tend the garden with me.
Good day, everybody. Welcome back to Saxlingham and the Arse Deep series here. We are in episode 8, and I don't know, I'd say we were arse deep in a bunch of activities today. Second day of August. Probably shouldn't have a whole bunch of stuff to do, but I got a number of things lined up for us right away here. So as much as I want to get this out in the field immediately, we got a couple things we're going to get done first. I've opted for the cheeky strategy that I had mentioned, where we're going to take the 2 merged wheat fields and we're going to plant grass. Super exciting grass, in the hopes that then we'll get a decent cut in the spring, and then we can put in our soybeans. And then we'll begin rotating grass and soybeans, I think. Okay, so actually what I need is that weight. I've been basically sharing a weight here on the farm. What I should do probably is just buy another weight. The reason why I need a weight is I've got 18 bales, I think, set up to go sell. So let's... so basically what I want to do is I want to hook up here. I want to move this. Then we're going to grab the Zetor, I think. We're going to throw a cultivator on it, and we're going to take it over to a contract that I have lined up. Oof, okay, that's still super floaty in the front end, but I think this will do. So here, let's move this out of the way. Oh yeah, that's not going to drive very well. Okay, let's grab the Zetor. I got it. Yeah, so like I said, I have a contract lined up for cultivation. Oh, this thing's still not clean, so let's clean that. No, let's cultivate the field first, then we'll clean it. Oh, this thing is nasty. You know what? I can't show up to a job like this. Let's wash this off fast. Yeah, a lot of phone calls this morning, actually. So we're first going to tackle this cultivation contract. If we have time later, there is at least one field to for some baling. There are a couple of people that have fields they need mowed. So it sounds like, I mean, as long as we get enough stuff done, we can probably do a number of contracts actually at the end of the day, just to earn some extra dough. All right, that looks pretty good. Let's clean this while we're at it. I had this parked here. Yeah, because I think then after that we have a bit of a stretch to basically just the sell off of wood chips and wheat right after we get seeds in the ground. So you'll see here soon after we get, so we'll get the cultivation done. We'll go get the bales sold, possibly even grab a second load of bales and get those sold, and then we'll head into the field for planting. Actually, you know what? No, screw that. Before we go sell the bales, we'll go do a headland with the mega planter, and then we can get a worker to help us with the rest. But yeah, then we may even sell 2 loads of bales. I have like 90 silage bales right now, so if I sold 40 and that left 50, that's still more than our cows are going to eat. I think the field's down this way, if I remember correctly. But yeah, we have an opportunity to make some money today with the sale of the bales and the contract, if not more contracts. We are going to be... So I merged the fields, you'll see. I did get the trees out. I will show you the new status of our wood chip storage, because we've got because it grew with the merging of the fields came some tree elimination and some chipping, and that has resulted in quite a growth in our wood chip inventory. The December is going to be quite awesome for us when it comes to selling stuff. We're gonna make some money, which is good, because we're gonna need some money. Okay, so that's our field. Then we go on the other side of the creek here. There's a number of fields in here that we could purchase, and that could then be converted into larger fields. I have this thing for converting fields into larger fields. It just seems to make sense to me. So yeah, I'm always looking for those opportunities. I guess I could probably just keep fields as small fields, but I mean, if you can make them bigger, why not? Okay, so I think just up here. Yeah, I think the field is right through these trees. So how we get into the field is another story. Let's see if we will all... I hate to go all the way around to find out it was I should have made a left back there, but you know what? I guess there's one way to find out. A little dark in the woods. Let's get the lights on here. Let's just hop out. Yeah, that's field 40. I think it's like, what is it? 18-acre field? 18-acre field. So that should take a little bit of time. Enjoy your morning there, Jules. You got your work cut out for you in that nice clean tractor. Do me a favor, don't get it dirty. Okay, so like I said, let's grab this and we'll get started in the field. So I've gone and topped this up, so we have all of the seeds that we need. So I don't have a weight on the front anymore, so we'll see if that affects us in some horrible way. I should have more than enough power here. All right, and there you go. That's what the field looks like now. So if you recall, somewhere around this break in the tree, or this tree thing, whatever here, there was a line between the two fields. So we've since gone and smoothed everything out, took out some trees. I've got the startings of a little bit of a laneway along here, and now this field comes all the way across. I think what's going to happen, I mean, this is a grass field, so I do have a route through here for workers. We may kind of recoup some of this after and make it give ourselves some more room to work. But for now, we'll just plant all this grass. I did end up taking out this fence that was along the side here. It was really getting in the way of a few things. The farmer over here was cool with it. He's like, "Yeah, man, whatever. It's just farming activity. It's not like I have kids playing around, or there's no danger, so don't worry about it." I then went and I put a layer of slurry down, so that's good. So this thing's got its sort of first round of fertilizer, and now it's going to get the grass seeds. So let me just get somebody set up here. Actually, well, you know what? Yeah, let's do the first headland. All right, and that's pulling along pretty good, actually. We'll probably hop out here just quickly and make sure that that's actually putting grass seeds down. And it is. Our pH is bad. That's lime, right? Shoot. We're gonna lose a bit of yield, I think. I didn't notice that maybe the lime was bad. I think we'll be able to put the grass in. Then we're not going to be spraying for herbicide because we don't need to do that with grass. But we will maybe I think we'll end up rolling. Do we roll? I can't remember. I think we do roll. Maybe before we do that, we'll come through with the spreader and throw down some lime. All right, so this is actually making the corners. I might have to. The way the GPS is set up, it's kind of cutting some of the corners off, but that's okay. We just want to get as much planted as possible. If the odd little spot gets missed, that's not the end of the world. Yeah, this thing's great. Pretty substantial piece of equipment. This JCB seems to tow it without issue. That's fantastic. Let's see what's going on with this corner here. Yeah, see, we're kind of missing little bits in the corners there. Ooh, well, you know what? I mean, I'm the owner. I guess I can screw up a little bit. I'll come back at the end and just clean up those corners so we get the most potential, with a harvest. Yeah, so it was definitely after some thinking about, what am I going to do? Am I just going to leave this? There was no way I was just going to leave this field dormant over the winter, and then get to work on it in the spring. I had to have something going on in this field, even if the grass doesn't get to a 100%, like stage 4 of 4 ready to harvest. Even if it's stage 3, at least I'll be able to get a bunch of grass off of it. So at least I'd be able to reap some benefit. It just kind of makes sense to me. And then we have our other fields, which, as I roll into the beginning of September, so in the next month, the other field should be ready to. Am I planting of seeds? Oh yeah. Look at the way the texture doesn't change, which is there's some kind of weird glitchy delay. But yeah, as far as the other fields go, they're growing grass right now. I don't think so. If I can harvest the grass in the month of September, I'd be tempted to go and cut that one giant field, merge them all, and plant them. But I mean, we're going to be growing map grass, I do have some planted grass there, and in between we have the map grass. So we'll probably just let that happen, and then once we get the grass off the field in the spring, then Then we'll go and we'll merge the fields, and likely what'll happen is we'll end up with soybeans in this field and soybeans in that long field, unless we want to diversify a little bit and put something else in there. But it would be something we could do in the spring. It'd be great if we could have crop, like whatever's in this field, something along the similar schedule in the other field. So that way we sort of know, okay, well, you know what, in the spring, we're always mowing and then planting. And then in the fall, we're harvesting and then planting grass. And then we just keep alternating like that. And those are our busy times. And that means, it'd be great if you had a month somewhere in there where we could go, go on holidays or whatever. If we schedule ourselves so we have something to do every single month, then we can never really get away from our farm, I guess. Yeah, there we go. All right, so this guy's going to go and do that for us, and we're going to go make some money right now to pay for all of this madness. All right, so let's just jump back through here. We can still run through here, but I definitely need to build a bit of a track through here so we can start accessing this section of the farm a little easier when we're driving around. All right, so while we're looking for the place we're going to sell, it looks like BGA. BGA for silage bale. Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah, it's a pretty big deal. Well, it's like $6 per 1,000 liters. I think I might go to the farmer's market because then I don't have to actually take a telehandler with me. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll go to the farmer's market. It's a little further than the BGA, but I don't have to bring the telehandler. I was going to point out the wood chips. So now I want to say, what were we, like $3.25 the last time we had for future value? Now we're $435,000. So we definitely put a lot more wood chips into storage. Well, we're almost 1 million liters, basically. Those big trees definitely add up fast. All right, so I think the name of the game here is No Sharp Corners. And we should be okay. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll do, who knows? I guess really, we're going to be... I just don't know how much our cows are going to eat. I don't think it's going to be a lot. So, we could potentially even sell down, 3 loads of bales. This was, I want to say there was 17, 6, 9, 12, 18 bales. Yeah, so we have 18 bales on here now. So 30, like 50, if we could sell about 55 bales, that would still leave, 40 bales, 35 bales. Which is a lot. Like, that's going to take a while for our animals to go through. I don't really have any more grass right now that we're going to be, harvesting to be able to wrap. Is there potential for a land acquisition that would also enable us to mow some grass? Maybe. Walter definitely seemed game to earn some of my interest. When we spoke in the last episode about him potentially lending us some more money, he definitely seemed to be a willing party. So I don't know. It's funny, as we get through a whole year and we get a good chance to see what our cows are actually devouring, then we'll know how many bales we should be hanging on to. Man, these roads are dangerous. I just had a cement truck trying to pass me, and meanwhile the guy aborted the mission. Probably smart, because he would have gone head first into another car. But man, I thought the guy was going to kill us both. I think he's going for it again. Yeah, look. Oh, wild man. Holy. Okay, I thought he was going for that little gap. That's the second attempt. Man, that guy's really got to be somewhere fast. I don't think there's anything that's worth risking everybody's life over to try to thread that little needle. All right, so I believe the bales go into the middle one here. All right, we'll just get unstrapped and then we'll see. That's a good sign. All right, so let's call that $14,000 basically with the environmental bonus. So if we might as well go and sell the 3 loads, and then we could basically do 4 loads if we really wanted to. We're not going to run out of silage, I don't think. Oh, look at this. Look at this genius. So he failed to pass me. Now he's just parked in the middle of the road, creating a traffic jam. Hey, guys, this is called the shoulder. I'm going to take it. Hopefully you guys aren't there the next time I come down with a giant load of bales. All right, we got the next load ready to load, I guess. So let's do that. I find this to be a little bit of an awkward space. Definitely not the end of the world, but could be a little bit easier to deal with, I think. So I think with this load, we'll probably, well, if I can get these bales on there, we'll get it all loaded up, and then I may use one of the local yokels to run this down to the market for me while I go check on the activities of our other workers, just to make sure that we're not running into any problems. So yeah, because when I text them, they all say they're doing fine, but sometimes when you actually physically go and check on them, you realize that it might be something different. All right, so we'll get this stack on here. I'm tempted to try to throw 2 more on top just to make it an even 20. I don't think we really had any issue moving anything, so I mean, we seem to be able to tow the trailer okay. Let's go see what the reality of our bales are. Yeah, so we still have 57 of these full bales. Partial bale, 20 straw bales. So if I just grab 2 right now, that leaves 55 bales. So those 55 bales, if I grab another 20, so we still have 30, that's got to be, if I only have the 30 bales over the winter time, that's got to be enough for a small amount of cattle. I'm not going to buy until we do our big sell-off. Like once we do our big sell-off, I may look at purchasing, a number, like really sort of expanding our herd, but I don't really want to do that until we have some cash and we get to pay some stuff off or whatever. Let's spike these nice and low so we can get them up high. So probably if I put them, smash it in the mower. If I put them right over the wheels, then it's not putting any extra weight on the tongue. Well, it's not lifting the tongue, like it's not making the rear too light, and it's not making the front too heavy. So okay, let me see who I can find to take this down there for us. All right, turns out there's nobody available right now, so we're gonna just take this down ourselves, and which is maybe not a bad idea because we do have an extra 12,000 liters of silage on this load versus what the last load was. Not to mention, if there's any traffic jams, we want to make sure we can get around them okay. So well, that's fine. We'll take this down. It won't take us very long. According to our cultivation worker, she's halfway through the job. I'm not sure about the guy doing the seeds. Let's see if we can see him from here. I see him in the far back corner. He just unrendered, so hopefully he's doing okay. I guess we'll find out soon enough. We'll run this down, then we'll go check on everybody, and then we'll see if we can get somebody to help us in the last load. Just unfortunately, nobody was available right away, which is odd. All right, this trip was definitely lacking the excitement of the last trip. We had no aggressive cement truck drivers, which was nice. Should be able to fit in the door still, I think. I never really thought about that. You don't want to go too high or you're going to hit the top, but this should be fine. All right, let's see what we got. Like 15.5 basically. Kind of nice to see some money going back in the bank. All right, I'm gonna get this. Whoa, I'm gonna smash into this car. I'm gonna get this back up there, and we're gonna go check on our friends. So the turning radius on this thing looks like it's a bit of a limiting factor. This guy's taking some big wide turns, so he's gonna take a while, I think, because he's really having to take a massive turn and then line himself back up. Which is not exactly fast. Now it's an 8 meter working width, so at least there's some decent width there. Decent width, but yeah, that's a bit of an issue. I want to check something else here. Yeah, so there's the. Oh no, I guess it's fine, right? I mean, are we saying it was saying the pH is bad, so the nitrogen's not really changing. I mean, we had it to, I mean, you can see over here, it's not planted yet. I had put the slurry down, so now we're putting fertilizer down at the same time, but we're not really seeing much change, so that's interesting. Oh, here's also another interesting factor. There's a weird deadline here in the middle of this field, so we're never going to be able to plant crops right here, which is kind of strange. Or if we do, if it doesn't allow us to plant, we're not going to be able to harvest it because it says we don't own that. I was able to cultivate it, which was weird. But yeah, we're not seeing that. We're not seeing the nitrogen. We're not seeing the nitrogen level change. I mean, I guess here it says pH okay, nitrogen is perfect. Yeah, the nitrogen's not changing. So I guess it's deciding that it doesn't need the nitrogen, which is fine by me. Because you can see where the seeds are down, it says nitrogen is perfect at 85, I don't even know what that means, but 85 kilograms per 55 hectaacres? I have no idea what that means, which is the same measurement as there. And here it's saying the pH is okay. So, all right, well, whatever. I guess we're not going to put lime down. I'm not going to worry about that. If I don't have to do it, I don't have to do it, which is good. But yeah, that at least shows the grass going in. So this guy can fill in the blanks around the corners, and then I can really tidy it up after. This does say need rolling. So I do have a roller. So we will come through, I guess, and grab our 2% with the roller. So that's good. Let's go check on the cultivation person. So yeah, I could do this job. This is listening to that tractor as you drive back and forth here would be just awesome. But yeah, this is a good piece of ground anyways, so this worker's got her work cut out for her, I guess, so to speak. But looks like she's plugging away nicely. At least it's not a very confusing field, which is good. Bit of an angle there. But yeah, okay, that's fantastic. Alright, so I'm just going to get this in position here so we can get that last load on here. Maybe last load, I don't know. I doubt we're going to do 2 more loads. I should check to see if the cows need anything. I had given them 2 bales since the last time we would have been together. We have 17,000 liters of food in there. We've got 57,000 liters of straw. So they are not going through straw quickly, although I did load it up. Can't think these ones would be any heavier, but man, there's a little more front heavy on this telehandler, I can tell you that much. Alright, start weighing down the back end of that tractor. Hang in there, Fiat. Man, that Fiat has really been a good one for us. Remember the state that we bought it in, and if you don't, go back and watch the Saving Uncle Pete series, really. That's where we've had that Fiat from there when we were looking after my uncle's little dilapidated sheep farm, corner of nowhere, as he went off into the world to do whatever he had to do. Then we brought it with us to Poland. We then escaped Poland and brought us to France after my, well, matter of opinion, friend that owns the dealer there, Lek, in Poland. He helped me refurbish the tractor because it didn't look like that when we first got it. Brought it to, when we escaped Poland, brought it to France, and now we've brought it here. I think on a few occasions I've thought about selling it, only to then not sell it. So I think we're at the point now where we probably just will not part with it. It's such a capable tractor. It looks good, sounds good. There's been a ton of those hit the mod hub. That was the original, like, Edo Mods, I believe, was the one for that one, or was it MA7? I think Edo Mods, right? They do the vehicle ones, and MA7 does all the buildings and such. All right, just about done with this loading, and then we can take this down to the market. Oh, that doesn't look good. All right. Actually, I've been tempting fate by not strapping those down as we go, to be honest with you. Normally, I would strap them down as we go in case there were any issues. All right, let's get these on top, and then we'll head down. I'm not even going to try to find anybody to help me out. I'm just going to run down myself. I get nervous with the workers and a load like this. I just don't know that I can trust that they're going to get there in one piece. It is a fairly tall load. No. We managed to do the whole entire thing without any issue, and then this. Okay, it's an easy fix. There you go, like nothing ever happened. Oof, all right, well, I will see you down there, and we'll get this stuff unloaded, and we'll make ourselves another $15,000. That should get us, we should be sitting pretty decent. It's kind of nice if you go into the winter and there's like 100 grand in the bank account, because we know that will at least run us for a few months of payments. Although really we got to go September, October, November. There's about 3 months until we're selling, so that, I mean, more or less depletes all of our. If we don't make another dollar until it's time to sell everything, then we're pretty tight, actually. So, I mean, the contracts are going to help. If we can make about 20 grand in contracts today, that's almost good for one monthly payment outlay. And then we just sort of let our bank account get us to sell off, and then hopefully we don't starve. I don't want to have to sell anything before it's, hit its peak dollars. All right, one last corner. Safe. Perfect. All right, more. Oh, wait a minute. Take that one. Come on, what are you doing? There we go. All right, well, I'm going to head back up to the yard, and then we are probably going to take a look at if there's anything in the used, of course, and then we'll go follow up with our workers there. Our girl in the cultivation contract is almost done, so we can maybe handle some of the. There's like 2 mowing contracts and at least 1 baling contract we could potentially knock out. I kind of cheated, and on the drive over I was on my phone and checked the used, and there was nothing there, so. No, nothing. We're not missing anything there. So let's go drop this, and then both of our friends are almost done. The cultivation contract is nearing the end, and the guy for the grass field was telling me he's just about done also. So actually, when he's done, we'll get somebody in there with a roller, and then then for a bale wrapping contract, I'll have to do that. So I may put this on the roller. I do have a roller, don't I? Yes. Wait a minute. We have a roller, don't we? Yeah, the roller's over here. So I'll probably put the roller on this, and then maybe I'll use the JCB for the bale wrapping because it's super fast. We can use the. We know we can use the Ford or the Z-Tor for mowing. Might use the Ford because the Z-Tor. It doesn't have that turning radius, but we'll have workers. We'll have a worker on the roller. We'll have a worker mowing, and then I'll be doing the bale wrapping. That's a bit of a multitasking, I think. All right, so I just opted to take over for Sam, just at the end here. I'll grab the last, and obviously missed some spots already. I'll grab the last piece of headland here. Oh, miss another spot maybe. Yep. Anyways, whatever. And then, and then I can clean up the corners quickly. And then we'll get the roller in here. Who knows? Maybe it'll be Sam as well. I like these productive days. I mean, we're managing to knock out some planting, some rolling. I thought we'd be fertilizing at the same time as we're planting. It's funny. It's still taking fertilizer. Like, it's taken 3% of the fertilizer that we had in here. So obviously there's been some spots where it's determined we needed that extra fertilization, but for the most part, I think we would have seen far more fertilizer usage had we needed the fertilizer. But yeah, we've barely used any on this field, so it's just decided that we don't need it, I guess. Man, imagine how that 400 horsepower JCB would have been here doing this job. Yeah, there'll be some bare patches. I think I screwed that corner up. This will look nice when we get into September, when we'll start to see some grass growing in here. It won't just be dirt. Well, our cultivation friend is 97% done her job, so we'll be moving her off of there here shortly. So yeah, likely what we'll do is we'll just grab. We'll bring the Z-Tor back. We'll get the Ford. We'll get the mower, and then we'll go figure out where those 2 fields are. I think one's right across the road, actually, if I remember correctly. I probably don't remember correctly. I don't think it is. Let's go do the perimeter quickly and figure out where I missed where I missed, and we can put this down and get some grass seed in the corners. Like I think this is one of the corners. Yeah, barely missed the edge. There we go. And then this curved bit over here definitely needs a little bit of coverage. Still missing. Oh, not too bad. Okay, and then I think it's this corner. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 more corners, I think. Yeah, I'll just take this right to the edge so we get decent coverage. And then the one patch I missed here when we were doing the corner. And then that's it. We got seeds in the ground, folks. All right, so we won't need this again until the spring, really, when we're putting our soybeans in. All right, before we go put the seeder away, I figured, or the multi-planter seeder thingy, I figured we'd get the worker going with the roller here. It's gonna be a good-looking field when it's all nice and rolled. So we got to set up for 2 headlands, and I'm just gonna work on the up and downs first. Seems to be a clean way of doing it. So we're kind of getting a 1% bonus. We're 94. That gets us to 95. Yeah, see over here it's saying pH value is bad. But then it says it's okay. So there may just be some patches where we could have benefited from some lime, but it's all good. We'll get this thing put away. Our friend on the cultivation contract has finished, so I just asked her, well, you know what, just leave the tractor in the field there. I'll come and get it. I got to get somebody on a grass mowing contract here, but I want to get this out of the way. So we'll probably, because this is going to sit till spring, we'll probably, well, okay. I'll just leave this here for a minute, and then we'll move the mower, or the baler. But, yeah, I'm going to grab where's the mower's already out. Okay, we'll grab the Ford. We'll go get somebody set up for a mowing contract. If there still is one, I guess I should check. Yeah, okay, it turns out that there's actually 2 fields that need mowed that were basically side by side. So we'll go do that. Actually, they're both fields that are on my radar for takeover. They're not of the larger variety. They would have to be, they're of the smaller variety, I guess. So they'd need to be merged if I was going to do anything. But the wood chip potential is always great, right? Every time you purchase one of these fields and then you clean up some of the trees, the amount of wood chips you can take off is always a bonus. All right, so the 2 fields we need to mow are just on the side here. Let's just, whoa, jump out and get this one first. Yeah, so I did mention these are on the radar. So we have field 30 right here. Right through this fence and these trees, we have field 31, and I believe there's another one in the back there. So at, 2.5 acres here, 3.5, 5, so it's about 6 acres. And then I think there's another field in the back there that's of similar size. So that's why I kind of came up with the 10 acres. We would probably make everything back in wood chips out of the purchase price. So we could probably buy these 3 fields, take out the fences, clean out all the trees, and by the time we sold everything that was, in the way there, I guess, we would probably make all of our money back. So something to consider. I mean, a short-term loan from Walter in order to make that happen would probably be all that would be required, because we would be paying them back quickly, I think, with the sale of those wood chips. So I'm gonna get a worker going here, and then we're gonna go get the cultivator out of the other field. All right, so they're set up. Oh, buddy is cruising. Okay, well, let's go. So we're a couple fields over here. I think I can probably jump the fence. So there's the next field. There's another sort of trifecta of fields in here that we could potentially look at. Actually, I guess you could probably buy all this road frontage here and take all the and merge all the fields. So up here is this cultivated field. Where'd she end up? Up at the top here. Okay. So what have we got going on now? We got Buddy in one of our fields rolling. We've got our friend now mowing, and then we're going to go probably put the baler. We're gonna go put it onto the JCB, and then yes, go start baling. So let me get this back to the farm. Okay, so this. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we're going to be cultivating before the season's end, or whether I can just put this cultivator away, or whether I should clean it. So, geez, we're stockpiling stuff here. Okay, well, we won't bother cleaning the cultivator. We'll just go dump it back where we got it. That's probably the smartest thing. You know what? If I don't, then we'll probably end up having to cultivate a field on a contract or something, and then I'll just end up getting it dirty again. So we'll just put it back here for now. Maybe before the winter we'll do like a big cleaning on all of our stuff. Maybe not. That doesn't sound like fun. Okay, so Zetor is probably going to get parked now, I think. Here, we'll just park it here. I could use it for this for baling, but yeah, we'll just put it here. All right, we'll leave the cedar here for a second. Cedar planter, whatever we're going to call it. There's the wrapper. Let's put this baler away. There we go. That's nice and clean and tucked away. I guess it doesn't really matter because I think next month we're going to need it anyways because we're going to do our grass field. All right, let me just figure out where I'm going. Oh, I got to message Buddy about paying me too. All right, so we got our $17,000 for the cultivation contract, so that's good. We have what is probably going to end up being 2 bale wrapping contracts, and then yeah, that should probably finish us off. So we'll have the 2 fields to mow, and we'll have basically there'll be 2 fields to wrap here. I kind of was looking at something. I want to check while we're over here too, because I don't know. I got that. It's like a disease. Speaking of disease, remind me about that. I got another little story about a conversation I had with one of the farmers here, which I thought was a little unnerving but odd. But anyways, yeah. So it's sort of like a disease where it's like, wait, how much more land can I buy, and how can I figure out funding, and how do I make all this work? And I think I might have a bit of a plan here. So here, hold on. Let's get this open. There we go. But yeah, let's quickly look at something here. All right, so there's where we're currently doing the mowing contract. So it's that field where you can see the lawnmower happening right now, and then it's the field off to its right. So those are the 2 that we're going to be mowing. So if you look at those 2 fields plus the field in the back, so those fields, if we look at the pricing, so that's fields 30, 31, and 27. So the field, I guess I shouldn't necessarily take this. I mean, the entire property is 5 acres in the back there. The field's 3.8. This field is 3.2. So what's that? About 7 acres. And this field is another 2 acres. So let's call this 10 acres. But then there's also the boundaries that if we bought all 3 of these fields, we would then go in, take down all the trees, take out all the fences, and make this 1 field. So now all of a sudden you go from whatever I just said about 10 acres to, I mean, that's 5. Let's say 4.5, so 9.5. And 12, call it 12.5, almost 13 acres. So now you got a much healthier field. You've spent 80, I don't know, call it 200, $330, $330,000. I bet you get $100,000 worth of wood back out of all this. So that's a thought. Then you have a triple combo here. You have a field here. You have a field here. So 80, there's 100 grand right there, 140, and another field right here. So you could eventually own this entire chunk, make it all one massive. It would be a really good sized field over there, actually. So that's a thought. The reason why I kind of like these types of places where you got to put a bunch of work into it to get them prepped properly, versus just buying a big old square like this, because this I don't have any opportunity to recoup anything. These require a ton of work because there's trees to take down, there's fences to take out. There's like just a lot of work to do, but you're getting all of that additional money back from the the work you put in on clearing the place. Where this is just literally you buy it and then you start farming on it. So kind of interesting. This is the field we're going to be wrapping the bales in, right? The field itself is 4 acres, a little more than that when you factor in the land around it. But then as you'll see in a second here, we also have these pieces that are up behind it. So that would be us just looking over here. So kind of funky land, but if you look at the first field where we've got the wrapper, I mean, never mind the fact that it merges with our what has been now dubbed as long field, but this field here, you have connections to the 2 fields behind it, which, I mean, yes, there's a tree line there, there's a gully. But I mean, that would make one mean field all of this, right? You just got to avoid the water. So that could be something to strive for. So you never know we're going to be August right now where I'm getting these contracts done. September where we're going to be mowing up our long field there, I think is probably going to be ready. Then you have October and November, which, other than maybe whatever somebody might have for us for work, we don't really have anything to do short of, figure out ways to spend money. So if I was able to work with Walter to get a favorable loan set up, we could maybe buy some more land. I swear I said, I'm not buying any more land. Well, we could buy some more land and then put the work in to prep it so that way, it's ready for us. The deadline for me there would be to get everything cleared, get all the trees chipped up and ready for sale in December, right? Because if I don't have everything ready, then we're really sitting on that stuff until the following year. Because you see how little wood chips are worth when they're outside their prime selling season. All right, this guy finished, so we're just going to get him into the field next door because I want to accept this. Wait, where's the gate? Over here. I'd like to accept payment for this contract here so that way I can set up the next baling contract. I'm sure I'll end up doing something dumb in between this. I guess the next episode would be mowing. Let's call it, I'm sure between now and potentially even as we go into the next episode, I'd be doing something dumb to expand our land holdings. That way Marin doesn't run into the gate. I guess I have to consider the fact that I just mowed the grass in these 2 fields. So if I bought them, I wouldn't have the benefits of the grass. But I think, looking at those fields and looking at what, I'm getting wet here, guys. And looking at what could be, if I went and I bought all these fields over here, these ones seem a little more desirable because they're right next to my the long field there. I don't know, stuff to think about. Now, I did mention on the note of disease. When I was on the phone with Buddy there getting the wrapping contract set up, he said, "Oh, what do you think?" I can't do a UK accent, so I'm not going to bother. But he said, "What do you think of that new place that moved in?" I don't even know where it is, to be honest with you. But apparently all the locals are up in arms because for months now they've been fighting I don't even know what he had a hard time explaining. He's an old guy. It's like some type of bioengineering or UK Center for Disease Control, but specializing in, I guess that has something to do with like COVID and all the, animal spreading viruses. I don't even understand it, but he was up in arms. He was irate. Apparently they're moving ahead with the planned, I guess, moving of an existing organization into our community here. So that's kind of funny. I guess not a lot happens in this small community. I mean, when I bought the land, I had every local asking me questions, and I seem to be the talk of the town. I guess if they're going to begin research on viruses, I don't even know, pandemic causing viruses. I don't even know. That's going to be an issue for the locals. Anyways, nothing we need to worry about. I just wonder if they need any work done, because I could do it. All right, only a few more bales and we're done this. The only thing that would make these bale wrapping contracts better is if they would pay me for the wrap that I'm using. Okay, we'll get these last two, and then I'm going to call ahead and see if that other field's ready for us. Yes, indeed it is. Plus, we just received $3,400 for that one grass mowing contract, so that's good. So we're up to $135,000 now. We're not going to see any major money. We might get to about 140 and change by the time we're done all the work that we've got booked right now. That should make for a pretty decent day, I think. So I have yet to check on the individual rolling our field. So let's hope they kept it to our field and didn't start rolling our sugar beets. But yeah, we'll get up to the field here and then we'll check on Buddy. And then at that time also maybe our friend who's doing the mowing will be done. That's good. We're just, there's a little bit of rapid fire action here at the end of the day. To close out to whatever, otherwise a fairly productive day. We've made some money selling some silage bales. We've managed to get some grass seed in the ground and get it rolled, doing some contracts, have a million ideas going through my head as far as how we could expand our land footprint. Discovered that they're putting some kind of a potential disaster of a lab into our community. Like, what the hell? All kinds of good stuff happening. And we did not purchase any equipment, which is kind of rare. Seems like lately everything's just been about spending money. Alright, we're just back up in here now. So head right up the laneway, they said. Field is up on the right. Indeed it is. Not too many bales here, which is nice. Oh, $4,200 just hit the bank account, so that was for the last wrapping contract we just did. This one I think is like $2,000 or $2,600, so not much, but it'll do. Here we'll while this one's wrapping, I'll go check on the roller. All right, so it appears that we are on the final headland. It looks like, and they're doing a fantastic, thorough job. I'll tell you that much. Oh yeah, I'm pumped, man. This is good. Grass. I guess we could have planted like canola or something. Yeah, see how it says you don't have access to this land? So that's going to be a bit of a problem. I guess we could have planted canola or something to get this thing to start growing, but then really by the time it... Well, so you could do the flip side, I guess. You plant your... No, because the canola... That's the hard part. There's certain crops like that you can plant in the spring. There's certain crops that have a short growing cycle, and then there's other ones that take pretty much almost an entire year. So really you can only deal with the one crop. But I mean, canola is quite lucrative, so we could have put canola in and done very well with just one planting and one harvesting per year. But anyways, okay, I'm gonna get back to the wrapping. Yeah, I think this next one is the second last one. There's just one more up there off to our left. It's hard to see. It's so dark. I don't know whether it's wrapped or what. No, yeah, we got to wrap it. Yeah, and then that's gonna be it. So I mean, the mowing, I bet you there's another $5,000 or $6,000 that we're going to be adding between the mowing that we're doing right now and this baling. So, we may be $145,000 by day's end. And that's a good way to kind of head off into the sunset, I think. So in the next episode, we will be attacking the long field, I guess. And then, like I said, it'll be, trying to decide what, if anything, we're going to do to expand. And then we move into a sell-off of sorts as we get into December. Really, and then no cars, and then it's the springtime, and we're hopefully going to be doing some harvesting and stuff. So anyways, I'm going to leave that there, guys. Thanks so much, and see you later.